and informative.
A very beautiful morning to you and welcome to the News Machine. We are reaching you from our Hot FM stations in Lagos on 93.3 FM, Hot FM Abuja 98.3 FM, and Hot FM Owerri 99.5 FM, 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m. Monday to Friday. I am Victor Eze. This morning on the News Machine, let's look at some trending headlines. INEC closes defense in petition at Presidential Tribunal. Apologize to Mesoma or face legal action, lawyer tells JAMB. Still in the headlines, Governor Fubara warns herdsmen against attacks on farmers. The News Machine will be back after this message.
Now you can get your news on. Hot, fresh, exciting, and exclusive. The News Machine.
Reaching you at the same time in Lagos, Abuja, and Owerri. 3 states for the price of 1. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m.
The News Machine. More than just news.
Hot FM.
We are more than just radio.
Welcome back to the News Machine. Proceedings at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal continue today as President Bola Tinubu and his vice, Kashim Shettima, will open their defense. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) on Tuesday opened and closed its defense in Peter Obi's petition challenging the result of the February 25 presidential election. Peter Obi of the Labour Party is urging the court in Abuja to set aside Tinubu's victory on the grounds that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) failed to comply with the electoral laws. As they resumed proceedings on Tuesday, Counsel for INEC, A.B. Mohammed SAN, proceeded to close its defense in the petition after calling in the first witness, Lawrence Bayode, an assistant director in charge of its ICT department. The witness on the cross-examination said that even if blood documents were downloaded from INEC's result viewing portal, it will not affect the physical results as recorded in the polling unit results, otherwise called Forms EC8A. He added that if what was downloaded from the IREV are not clear, the physical result could also be obtained. Labour Party lawyer Kingsley Okonkwo gave a summary of the day's proceedings.
INEC eventually opened their case, and today again they closed their case, meaning they don't have much to say about what happened. In 176,000 polling units, no result was uploaded in real time on election day. That is the whole summary of it today. And the INEC ICT Deputy Director admitted that he could not read some of the results uploaded on IREV because they were blurred, and he told the court so.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says it had received 215 case files from the Nigerian police in respect of electoral infractions during the 2023 general elections. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu disclosed this at a meeting with State Resident Electoral Commissioners (RECs) to review the general election. He said the commission is working with the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) to prosecute the electoral offenders, adding that the NBA has provided 427 lawyers to help prosecute the cases free of charge. Yakubu also added that the commission has received the police report on the suspended Adamawa REC, Yunusa Ari, saying INEC would soon take appropriate actions against him. A lawyer, John Mary Madua Kolam, has threatened to sue the registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB), Professor Ishaq Oloyede, and the management of the board should they fail to tender an apology to Anambra pupil Mesoma Ejikeme, who was accused of JAMB of manually inflating our 2023 UTME results. The lawyer, in a letter addressed to Oloyede, noted that Mesoma was incapable of forging her own results. He also accused JAMB of failing to protect the identity of the girl. Recall that INEC, in a statement on Sunday evening, noted that Ejikeme manually inflated our UTME results from 249 to 362 and used a manually increased score to attract a 3 million scholarship from Innocent Motors and was set to be awarded by the Anambra State government before she was exposed. JAMB also announced the suspension of Ejikeme Joy Mesoma from writing its Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME for 3 years over alleged forgery of her 2023 results. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has warned herdsmen against harassing residents of communities, killing farmers and damaging crops in the south Nigerian state. Governor Fubara passed the warning to the leadership of the Muslim community, who he received at the government house in Port Harcourt. The governor said he is concerned that while his administration is protecting the businesses of the Muslim community, some errant members of the fold are destroying the businesses and livelihoods of others.
Please, see how you can resolve this problem. The local governments are complaining. We don't want to take laws into our hands because we feel that if we have to use all the necessary force, it might escalate and lead to unrestiveness in most of those areas where you do your business. So I want to charge you people, and I think it will not be out of place if I expect a result in the next 1 week or 2 weeks from you. Call your people that are doing the business of herdsmen or whatever they call it, or cattle rearing. Call them to order. They shouldn't be harassing our people. They shouldn't be killing innocent people in their farms. Please, I want you people to do something about it so that we don't get to a point where things will be out of hand.
Leader of the delegation and Vice President General of Rivers State Council of Islamic Affairs, Nasir Uho, was quick to give assurances that the Muslim community will not be involved in using religion to destabilize the state. He also pledged the support of the community for the policies and programs of Governor Sim Fubara.
To show our sincere gratitude for what you have done for us Muslims, especially this season. It has not happened in the history of this state that for you to have made it possible for them to celebrate this with tons of rice is something they appreciate. And it did not come after our visit. It came before our visit, telling us that there is hope. Our confidence in you is rekindled, and our confidence in your administration is wide. We are, in turn, prepared to work with you, to work for you, and to do whatever thing is required of us to make this your tenure a success. Because the success of your administration translates to the wider success of the society and including with the Muslim community.
The governor has given the guarantee that he will keep channels of communications open with the Muslim community because they are critical stakeholders in his governance. Now it's time to gather trending stories from our news machine studios at ODFM 98.3 Abuja. Let's hook up with Abuja Report.
Good morning. Here's the news from Abuja. FCT administration has confirmed the outbreak of diphtheria disease in the territory, with one person reported to have died from the disease. Confirming the outbreak of diphtheria in Abuja, the director of FCT Department of Public Health, Sadiq Abdul Rahman, said the latest development brings to 21 the number of states confirmed to have recorded at least one case of the bacterial disease, with 8 suspected cases recorded at Tunga Wakili community of Dede in the FCT, where a 4-year-old boy reportedly died from the disease.
Last 2 weeks, we got alert from our community within the FCT. We have about 8 cases, suspected cases, which triggered our team to pick some samples. These samples were taken to our National Reference Laboratory, Gadwa, under NCDC, and as at Friday afternoon, these results came out. Out of the 8, 1 came out positive. And prelude to that, about 4 cases had died before the result came out. And by definition of the World Health Organization standard, 1 case of diphtheria is an outbreak.
On his part, the executive secretary of the FCT Primary Healthcare Board, Issa Vatsa, decried a situation where people default on getting themselves and children vaccinated. Diphtheria is a bacterial infection that affects the mucous membranes of the nose and attacks the respiratory system, with symptoms to include difficulty in breathing, sneezing, fever, swelling of the eyes, among others, and is transmitted from person to person through cough droplets and surface contact. At least 15 people were said to have been trapped under a collapsed 4-story building under construction at Dape Life Camp, Abuja. Speaking to journalists on the sideline of the incident, Director General FCT Emergency Management Agency Abbas Idris noted that some trapped persons rescued are already in the hospital. Idris noted that 9 persons were so far rescued while search continues by FEMA rescue operation.
Well, as you are aware, as yesterday we were able to remove 9 people alive. 6 people have been have been examined by doctors and discharged, while 3 are still in the hospital receiving attention. And their situation, as at this morning, is they are responding to the treatment. And the search and rescue has commenced at the moment to make sure that we get to ground zero before we leave the city.
According to Idris, the rescue and search team have not recorded any loss of lives so far.
We have not recorded any death, and we're not hoping to get any. By the grace of God, everybody will come out alive. I would like to appreciate our critical stakeholders, the FCDA, who are really on top of the situation, especially in mobilizing the private sector to deploy the heavy-duty equipment that is helping.
The 4-story building, said to be a hotel under construction, collapsed in Dape Life Camp, Abuja. The building is owned by Summit Villa Hotel Services. And that's all from the News Machine studio at Hot FM Abuja. I'm Kevin Joseph La, over to Lagos.
Alright, let's link up with the News Machine studios at Hot FM 99.5 Owerri for the trending news happening in the southeastern part of the country.
Good morning and welcome to our News Machine studios in Owerri. The International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Inter-Society, has alleged that between January 2021 and June 30th, 2023, over 1,000 citizens were slain in Imo State, while 1,400 homes were purportedly destroyed. Inter-Society also claims that 320 persons vanished without a trace and at least 3,700 others were unfairly detained. The International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law stated this in a review of its special investigative findings on the mass crimes in Imo State and the genocidal treatment of Christians in Nigeria, which were published on April 10th and June 12th and May 21st, 2023, respectively. The group further asserted that over 200 unarmed civilians were detained or arrested on false assumptions and were most likely to be tortured or threatened with death while in custody. The dust raised by the election of new principal officers in the Abia State House of Assembly may not have settled, as a ranking PDP legislator, Solomon Akpolono, has insisted that his party remains the majority party in the House by virtue of its elected members. Akpolono, who represents Obingwa East in the Assembly, was among the PDP lawmakers who kicked against Friday's announcement of new principal officers, where PDP did not get any position despite having 11 members in the Assembly. At plenary last Friday, the Speaker, Emmanuel Emerua, announced the names of new principal officers with no PDP lawmaker making the list, but rejecting the outcome again on Tuesday. The member representing PDP in Obingwa East, Akpolono, maintained that his party remained the majority party with 11 members. He accused the executive arm of government in the state of allegedly midwifing the current situation in the Abia Assembly, arguing that his PDP will never accept the position of a minority. The Enugu state government on Tuesday vowed to shut down schools and markets observing the illegal one-week sit-at-home order by Simon Ekpa. This was contained in a statement signed by Professor Chidebere Onya, the secretary to the state government. This is despite a statement by the leadership of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB that it didn't declare any sit-at-home. Enugu state government has now come hard on those obeying Ekpa's directive. That's all from the News Machine studios at Hot FM Owerri. Back to our studios in Lagos. I am Ifeyunwa Nwana.
You're still listening to the News Machine, reaching you from our Hot FM stations in Lagos on 93.3 FM, Hot FM Abuja 98.3 FM, and Hot FM Owerri 99.5 FM, 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m. Monday to Friday. Let's hear what correspondent Nesta Sani has for us on Voices in the News.
A suspected baby factory operator paraded by the police in Rivers State, Nigeria.
This lady called me. They came and arrested me over child trafficking. So she accused that she has given me a pregnant woman, which I accepted. She gave me one. That was about 6 years ago. Yes. So when she gave me this lady, I now gave it out to somebody. The woman that I gave it out to gave me 30,000. That was all that I know about the incident. It's just like giving her work, giving her markets, giving her markets.
And on the foreign scene, Egypt and Turkey have announced the appointment of ambassadors to each other's countries for the first time in a decade. The foreign ministries in Cairo and Ankara reported improved diplomatic relations between the two countries at ambassadorial level, adding that Egyptian Amir El Amami had been appointed in Ankara and Turkish Salih Mutlu Sen in Cairo. These appointments mark a reunion between the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan. And that's a wrap on today's edition of the News Machine. Join us again tomorrow for a fresh edition. Do well to have a beautiful day.